Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going through how to get started with trading on Creo. So let's get into it. First, we're going to set up Creo. So the first thing that you need to do is go on to the Creo Polymarket bot and type in /start. Once you've done that, you'll see this pop up. Click on accept. Let's go. If you have a referral code. For example, if you found this somewhere and you want to support them, you can type in, yes, I have a referral code. So for this example, I'm going to type in the standard referral code. Once I've done that, Creo is going to create my PrivySafe wallets, which will allow me to start trading. Okay. Now that my wallets have been created, I can now fund them so that I can begin trading. So this is my wallet address, and I need to copy this, and I need to deposit USDC.E into this. So let's do that. Let's click on, we can either deposit fiat if we want to deposit from Coinbase, or we can deposit using crypto. Let's deposit crypto. So we can either directly deposit Polygon, or if we want to bridge over, if I have ETH, ARB, Bitcoin, Solana, Base, I can select those. For the example, we're going to go with directly on Polygon. Okay, perfect. So what you need to do is you need to open your Phantom up. So let's do that really quickly. Awesome. Let's copy this. What address we're going to go to? Phantom. Okay. Now I need to make sure that I am sending USDC.E. So this is USDC proof of stake. I need to make sure I'm sending only this. So for this example, I already have $9 in this. But just to show you how you guys can get this, go onto Phantom, go onto the swap section, and you can swap any currency. So let's do Polygon. We can swap it for USDC on the Polygon chain. And it will show that we can swap for USD coin POS, and we can directly buy USDC.E here. Alternatively, if I want to skip this, I can bridge over using Creo directly. But for this example, we already have some, so we're going to swap it in. All right, awesome. So I've sent 5 USDC.E to my wallet on Polygon that Creo generated for me. So now I can just close this and I can start trading. I can do start one more time, and here we go. This is the main page. Now we're going to get started with finding wallets that we can begin copy trading on. So to give you some more context on how copy trading works, copy trading is basically when you follow the exact buys of any wallet that you input into Creo. For example, if I create a copy trade task, Creo will buy in when that person buys in and sell when I want it to. So that might sound a bit more complicated than it really is. Let's do the first part. First, let's find wallets that we can begin copy trading and make money with. So Creo has a very cool function, which is AI match. AI match basically discovers your exact wallets that you should be copy trading by running you through a quiz, which determines that. So let's go through the quiz. The first question is, what's your risk tolerance? Now, everybody has different risk tolerances with how they want to allocate their capital. Let's go with moderate. I don't want to be too risky, but I don't want to be too safe. Next, I can select which markets I am interested in copying from. I mostly don't care. I want to be open to all sorts of creators because I want the highest P&L possible. So I'm going to click on Select All now. Next, I can click on what my trading style is, the one that I resonate with the most. So for this example, we're going to go with safe and steady. Next, how long do I typically hold positions? I'm going to say quick flips. I like making money as fast as possible, but you can, of course, choose your own trading style. Next, how active should the trader be? So this is your own personal preference. Do you want to take many trades per week? Do you want to place only a few trades? It all depends. So we're going to go with active, which is like the middle ground. Next, we're going to be ranking our priorities. What's most important to us when we make decisions to start trading with? Do we want to be very safe? Do we want a higher level of strategy? Do we want more frequency so that we have make of trades and get more chances to make money? Or do we like holding positions for a very long time? So we can rank it in this order, with the first one being the most important to us in these trading aspects, and this will prioritize and determine the wallets we get matched with. So I'm going to click on even split because I'm not sure. Awesome. So now we have a tremendous list of wallets, so we can start copy trading with one button. So now we have to choose, who do we want to copy trade? Well, I really like the second wallet. It has a high win rate, it has a pretty decent P&L, and it has a pretty solid record. We're going to go with this wallet, and we're going to start copy trading them. Great. So now Creo is going to ask you, how much would you like to spend per trade? Because we're testing, we're not starting off with too much. We're just going to go with a pretty low amount. Awesome. Now we have to name our task so we can easily identify it. Let's call it Whale 1. Great. Now, Creo has generated this task for us automatically, and we can review all the settings. Okay, looks good. We can start trading. Great. So now, Creo has created this task for us with all of the settings that we will need. We're going to go through every single one of the settings and what you might want to change and what they mean. So firstly, let's go with the trading strategies. So this is where you size in trades. If I choose fixed, it will buy me in the fixed amount that I set for every trade, regardless of what the leader buys in with. So for example, I've set $2, so Creo, every time that it copy trades, will buy me in the $2. Next is exact. Exact means that Creo will copy and buy me in the exact same amount as the leader wallet. Next we have percentage. Percentage basically means that Creo is going to buy me in a percentage of the amount that the wallet I copy trade buys in with. So for example, if I set this at 50%, Creo will buy me in 50% of the amount that the wallet I am copying trading bought. Next is portfolio weighted. This is when Creo will put in a similar portfolio amount to the leader wallet. So for example, if the wallet that I am copying puts in 10% of their portfolio into one trade, Creo will put in 10% of my portfolio into that trade as well. This is a bit more advanced, so we're going to go with the safest option, which I think is fixed because it's very predictable. So we have our fixed amount here. Next, we can set a max buy. This is the maximum amount that I want to put into a trade, or the minimum amount that I would like to put into a trade. So I'm going to keep those two empty right now. Next is max spend per market. Max spend per market is a clever way of making sure that I don't spend too much money. So Creo has already enabled a max spend for us, but we can change that at any moment in time. Max spend per market basically limits the total USDC that we spend per market. So if this is at $16, we will not spend more than $16 if the leader wallet that we are copying keeps buying into the same position. We can also set a side cap, which means that for every individual side, there will be an individual maximum amount that Creo will allow our wallet to put in so that we don't lose too much money. Next, we can set a max spend. Now, max spend is, instead of being per market, is for the entire task. So once it spends $40, for example, in this whole task, it's not going to buy anymore. Next, we have daily spend. Daily spend limits are very clever, which allow me to limit how much I'm spending on a daily basis as well. This resets at 12 UTC every day, automatically. So we can set a cap of, let's say, $50, and that will mean that every single day there is a $50 cap. Next, I can set my slippage either high, low, or medium. 5% is the perfect middle ground so that I don't miss too many trades. If I want to be filled in at the exact price, I would lower my slippage. Or if I don't care that much and I want to make sure all my trades go through, I would increase the slippage. Slippage, put simply, is how much price difference you're willing to tolerate. Next is minimum trigger. This is when the lead wallet has to put in, for example, if I set this at $10, the lead wallet needs to put in a minimum of $10 into the trade for Creo to execute a copy trade task for me. This does not mean that Creo is going to buy me in $10 necessarily, because we have fixed amount enabled here, for example, but this just determines what trades I get filled into. Same for max trigger. If, let's say, we set max trigger at $100, Creo will only buy me in when the wallet I am copying buys in less than $100 into a position. Next, I can copy max days out. Max days out means that I will only copy markets that fit this criteria and expire in, for example, if we set this to 300 days. This means that Creo will only copy positions that are less than 300 days to expiry or resolution. Next is minimum liquidity. Creo will only buy in positions with, for example, I've set 5,000 here, so Creo will only buy in markets that have $5,000 or more in liquidity. Same for minimum volume. That means that if I set this at 5,000, Creo will only buy positions in markets with $5,000 or more in volume. Next is minimum odds. So for example, if I only want to trade markets that are above 90% odds, I can type in 90 and Creo will only go into positions that have more than 90% odds. Same for max odds. I can set this at 99, for example. Creo will only copy trades now under 99% odds. Great. Now categories is the next one. So Creo is very unique in the sense that with Creo, you can choose exactly what categories you like to copy. So for example, if I know a wallet is very good at crypto, I can turn off all of these markets and I can enable just crypto. Next, we can choose in our buying strategies, we can follow their buys, we can copy their sells. And let's say we want to buy on sells, we can copy them and buy on sells as well. Or let's say I want to inverse trade them, for example, if they're not that good at trading, so we can copy their sells and we can also counter trade them. So that's absolutely everything that you need in terms of strategies for copy trading. Now let's move on to stop loss and take profit, which is very, very important in securing profits and limiting losses. So with Creo, I am able to create a take profit. So for example, I can either do it with percentage or fixed price. For this example, we're going to go with percentage. And this means, let's say I've set it at 60%. So when my position that I have copy traded goes above 60% in profit, no matter where I am, Creo will sell my position and take profits. And it is the same for stop loss. I can do the exact same thing for stop loss. If my position goes down below 15%, like I've set here, Creo will automatically get rid of that position for me. Next, muting notifications. Now this is something that I really recommend because if you are copying a volatile wallet, it will spam your Telegram and rate limit you. So make sure to mute your notifications, and that's everything that you need in terms of the copy trading filters. Next, let's create a custom copy trade task just to finish this. So it's the same way. You click on add task, you can type in the EVM wallet address or Polymarket username. So for this example, we're going to go with imjustkin. We have to name our task. We have to choose our buy method, how much we would like to put in our max spent per market. We can skip this, we can keep it at default, we can skip odds filter, we can set a stop loss here, or we can skip that. We can create trade profit, or we can skip that. In our trade behavior, how we would like to proceed with these trades, we can go with buys and sells, and we can create our task here. Now, if I go to /copy trade, I'm able to see both my tasks and I'm able to see my activity. So whenever a copy trade transaction goes through, so like here, it skipped 2 trades, it will give me the reason. So for example, they didn't fill the criteria, it skipped those trades for me. This is all inside of my copy trade activity. I can click on the specific copy trade tasks and I can see everything, an overview of the task itself. I can edit the settings of that task. I can view that portfolio on Polymarket. I can view it on Polygon Scan. I can change the wallet that I am trading with. I can edit the name of the task, and I can edit the address that I'm copying from Or I can delete the task right here if I don't want to copy trade them right now. Let's say I want to take a break. I can click on stop and I'll stop this task. And that is absolutely everything that you need in order to start copy trading with Creo. Good luck.